Hello, hello, hello. Thank you also for joining me again on this particular YouTube channel. And I'm so glad every time you join. Please, I just want to say if you have not subscribed to this channel at the end, I'd like you to like the channel, please share and invite as many people as possible. We are still going for the 1,000 goal within the short space of time so we can live stream events where I want to deal with important topics as we move forward. Thank you for joining me again this week. Now, don't forget in the last segment, we started looking at lessons from the ant. And we saw, which I'm going to repeat very quickly, that the wisest man who ever lived, the wealthiest man who ever lived, who actually was given wisdom by God, now actually made reference to us who will live in every generation to go and learn from this particular small and little creation of God, but that is exceedingly wise. So let me go back again and just read very quickly on this series where we started last time. We read from Proverbs chapter 30, verse 24 and 25, by the way, from the Bible, which is the greatest book that ever was and there ever will be, the wisdom of God contained in it. So Proverbs 30, 24 and 25, it says, there are four things that are small or little on the earth, but are exceedingly wise. Amongst them, he said, the ants are not a strong people, yet they prepare food in summer for winter. Then in Proverbs chapter 6 from verse 6 to 11, it says, go to the ant, O you lazy one, observe her ways and be wise, which having no chief or overseer or ruler, she prepares her food in the summer and bring in provision of food for winter in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? When will you arise from your sleep and learn self-discipline? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hand down to rest, so shall your poverty, the result, will come like an approaching prowler who walks slowly but surely, and your need will come like an armed man, making you helpless. So we have been looking at several things we can learn from what I refer to as Ant Academy. So here we're not going to Harvard to learn these lessons. He's not telling us to go to Cambridge. He's not telling us to go to Oxford, the best universities. He's not even referring to a book by a psychologist. God, in his wisdom, didn't say go to the lion, as big as the lion, as ferocious as the lion is. Not even the elephant, not even the squirrel, not even the hummingbird, not even the eagle. As great as those ones, he said go to the ant. And even though the ant is small, the ant is little. It's extremely wise. And then we look at some of the characteristics and principles we can learn. These are life lessons we can apply because they are principles. Number one, last time we said, number one, that the ants have no commander. According to Proverbs, they have no ruler, they have no chief, no one to govern them. They are self-governing. They are self-managing. They know how to manage. They are self-starters. They're able to motivate themselves. Because if you want to achieve anything in life, if you don't know how to encourage and motivate yourself, people sometimes will not be there to encourage you. There are times when people will not believe in your dream. If you don't wake yourself up, nobody will wake you up. Somebody once said, if you don't stand up, the world will not sit down. That is very important because as you go in life, you need to know how to manage yourself, how to govern yourself, how to lead yourself. That's when you can manage, you can lead and govern people and then things as well. Then number two, we say the ant prepare for summer in winter. So the plant doesn't wait for winter. The weather is not good for the ant. There's scarcity during the winter. So the ant prepare in a time of abundance where everything is blossoming, everything is green, everything is flourishing. Why? Because the ant is able to use the cycle of life, understanding that after summer there will be winter. He spent all summer thinking about winter. You also in your youthful years prepare for your later years. Before you get married, prepare for marriage. Prepare also if you want to rise, in your field, your career. Take this period during the lockdown. Every day see it as preparation for tomorrow. Prepare today for what is coming tomorrow. Somebody said you prepare for war in the time of peace. You don't prepare in the future when the future comes. You start preparing now. God believes in preparation. In fact, if you look through the Bible, look at Joseph, how many years God prepared him, even Jesus. God doesn't use people that are not prepared. So it's very important for you to prepare yourself. By the way, nobody will prepare you. Your husband, your wife, you will have to prepare yourself mentally, financially for the opportunities that are coming. Then number three, we also said that ants are also able to plan ahead strategically. So they are able to save. They are able to store food in the time of summer for winter. Harvest time, they are preparing for scarcity. You should do that. Anytime you get extra cash, don't just waste it and start buying, what I call liabilities. Learn to save and invest for the future that you want so that you will not continue to struggle all through life. Then number four, we said they have a can-do attitude. That no matter how talented, how gifted, how beautiful, I don't care to know how many degrees you have. You may have so many degrees that people can't pronounce your name. If you don't have a can-do attitude, a mentality to win in life, you'll not be able to win. So today, let me go for that. Number five, ants also believe in teamwork. Let me say this to you. When you look at the ants, they work as a team. That's why they're able to build what we call the ant hill. Have you heard this before? That players win matches, but it takes a team to win the championship. The word team means together everybody achieve more. Even God himself in creation, he said, let us. He believed in teamwork. When Jesus came here, what did he do? The first thing he did was to assemble a team. Sometimes you see, you can go far alone, especially if you want to build a business, if you want to build an organization, even a family. If you don't develop what I call a team mentality, where you are able to tap people with different talent and skill, sometimes they are better than you, more experienced than you, more qualified than you. You will not be able to go far. I believe he's one of the greatest, wealthiest men who lived in America, who say, I would rather get 4 men to do the job, okay, of 4 men than to get 1 man to do the job of 4 men. Why? He just understands. So when you study and they work as a team, in fact, they understand the division of labor. My understanding as I study them, sometimes when some are sleeping, some are working, some are building, some are, trying to make sure they watch out for the others, they work as a team. So you also should be able to develop that team building spirit if you want to go very far. I wanted to read out something here where somebody said concerning the ant hill. He said every time you see an ant hill, it's not built by elephants, but built by what? Rejected small insects called the ants. That's to tell you how little things can do great things when you understand teamwork. Even in Genesis chapter 6, the Bible tells us that when men came together, they spoke one language, they had one vision. They attempted to build a tower that will reach heaven. God himself was threatening where his plan was concerned, that God had to step in. Why? Because teamwork is powerful. Teamwork is amazing. So you also, if you want to achieve, you want to be bigger than you, especially many times because you will have a vision that is bigger than you, it will go beyond your generation. God doesn't start anything that stops with you. Do you understand? Don't die with the recipe. And this means that you have to develop what I call security, because sometimes it's security that makes people think if it's not me, nobody else can do. No, develop that team spirit. That is one of the things also that we can learn from the ant. Then the next thing I want to talk about the ant also is that the ants don't quit. They don't quit. What do I mean by this? Do you know that the ants don't quit? They only change their approach. So if, for instance, the ants actually are walking on a path, say they are going somewhere, and you block that pathway, do you know what ants will do? They will look for another way around it, on top of it, or under it. They will always find a way. What does that mean in your life? You have to be flexible to change. You will experience setbacks. You will experience delays. You will experience disappointment. Nobody, I heard Brian Tracy once said, nobody succeeds the first time. Nobody. That's why sometimes when you read books by mentors and people who have achieved in life, they tell you that anything you're doing, they say success grows out of failure. That doesn't mean you're a failure. That just means that that's just the way life works. So you have to understand, you have to be as determined, because winners don't quit and quitters don't win. The ants don't quit. So once there is a blockage, once there is an obstacle, they look for a way around it to go and get the food they want in summer for winter, or to build that anthill, or to go to where they're supposed to be. So you also, has COVID in 2020 slowed you down? Maybe you have to change your strategy. One of my bishops used to say, he said, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. If you are so inflexible, you want to die with what you knew in 1967, this is 2020, because it's not going the way you planned, then you will never arrive at that destination that you believe God has planned for you. Let me just give you one quickly. I thought you have to understand about the ant is that the ants also, they believe in sharing. Do you know if one ant goes and finds food, it doesn't keep it to itself. It comes back and share with the others. That's why if you keep a cube of sugar, what happened to the ant? Once he finds it, he goes and get every other person. You have to understand that if you want to be greater than you, sharing and the ability to share yourself, your gift, your talent with your world, with people, with your generation, with those you come in contact with, your service, your ideas. Nobody become great by you just holding what you have and what God gives you. No, at the end of the day, you have to learn how to share. Whether it's an anointing in spiritual service or in a secular place, you have to be able to use whatever God has given to you to be a blessing so you can achieve. So you see why Solomon said, go to the ant and learn wisdom. This is not something you will find in the probably in so many universities, but these are lessons of life. So I'll see you on the next video as we continue on this series. I want you to stay positive and apply these principles in your life. 2020 will be your best year so far. See you on my next video. Have a good day. Bless you. Bye.